I'm Ashleigh, and I am the worship coordinator here at New Life, and I have been part of the team for about 3 years, but I've been coming to this church for about probably nearly 7 years now. Growing up, I was very fortunate to have like an amazing family with strong Christian values, and you know, my parents were very supportive and loving when we sort of realised that from like when I could speak, I stuttered. Mum and Dad were actually, I think they sort of found it a bit cute at first, but then realised that there was something more going on, and so I was sort of taken to speech therapy from when I was really young, so 3 or 4. However, when I started high school, I really did realise that I was really struggling with a disfluency with my speech. Stuttering definitely did like affect my social confidence. I think with friends, it was really something like I noticed would stop me from, you know, speaking out or being part of that group. I really found it hard to fit in at times. I don't think I was bullied that much, but more shut out, and so at times it was like easier to not say anything than to speak up and to sound stupid. It came to the point where I actually had to decide what I wanted to do in with my future, and medicine was something that I was hugely passionate about, but I was also scared to step out and do something that would require me to be really fluent. And I went to like interviews to actually like apply for medicine, and like again I was rendered speechless. Like anxiety like just filled me, and I wasn't able to even speak or to conduct like an interview, and so I did really doubt whether medicine was what I was called to. But it actually turned out that God was calling me to something greater, that actually forced me to face my fears, you know, like on a much larger scale than I thought like medicine would ever challenge me. And actually like God really started to speak to me like about my weakness and my flaws, and that like in Him I'm made strong. Through my weakness I'm made strong, and that God would be glorified like all the more by stepping out in this area like of ministry that like I now see I'm called to, and music has always actually been something that I'm very passionate like about. I think a large part of that is that when I sing, I don't stutter, and so there's a great freedom that comes from like stepping into this calling. There's great joy that comes from standing up and being able to sing and praise God freely. Fear has been something that has challenged me in my thinking of actually choosing like a leadership role and to actually lead people. But like God really spoke to me like about how like He's asking us to step out despite our flaws. When I came to you, brothers, I did not come with eloquence or superior wisdom. My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power, so that your faith might not rest on men's wisdom, but on God's power. No, not starting that way. Boop. Can you do some humor reels? It'd be funny at the end to kind of rig it in. So God speaks about the fact it's not human wisdom that is at work in me, but actually God's mercy that He would still use me despite despite the weaknesses and flaws, that God would still choose to use the But He said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. For when I am weak, then I am strong." I thought that my stutter disqualified me from actually doing the thing that we're called to do, and that is to share our faith. I thought that the fact that my speech was hindered, that it meant that I couldn't do what God was calling me to, and to share who I am in Him. But through God's mercy, He has graced me, despite my fear, to stand up here and actually declare that. If this is my lot, and if this is what God has graced me for, then I want Him to be glorified through it, despite my fear.